Hello and welcome back to the channel. Thanks to the team over at Flair. In today's review, we're going to be taking a look at the newly released Godzilla vs Kong, Giant Godzilla and Giant Kong. Now, if you are looking to add either of these figures to your collection, I shall of course include a link down in the description box below. Taking a look here at both of these figures in their packaging, you can see that we have an amazing open window which really allows you to gather a sense of the detail, the paint, the articulation, as well as the size of these figures. These two figures here are roughly 10 and 11 inches as far as their scale is concerned, so they will tower over some of the 6-inch figures. Now you can see here that the detail on both of them is incredibly impressive. Of course, we've got the Godzilla vs Kong logo behind them. As we spin around here to the back, we've got that awesome scene that we've seen from the latest trailer of Godzilla and Kong battling it out on the battleship. I just cannot wait to see this movie, hopefully on the silver screen. So without further ado, let's crack both of them open and see what they have in store for us. And so, starting off firstly by taking a look here at Godzilla, believe me, he is a lot bigger than I initially expected, especially when you do peg on the tail that does actually come as a separate piece out of the packaging. You can see that as far as the detail and the sculpt work is concerned, I believe this, much like all of the previously released and previously reviewed over on the channel Godzilla figures, has turned out really nice, especially that skin texturing detail. You can see how it is very reptilian as far as its design is concerned, and I love how it looks. Of course, this is Godzilla about to go atomic, so he does have a little more of a blue hue to his actual skin tone, and to be honest with you, I actually do prefer this look than compared to the more generic and neutral colour scheme. You can see that as far as the spikes are concerned, the paint as well as the sculpt work has come out exceptionally well, especially where the two tones of blue is concerned. So of course we have the much darker section around the edges and the much brighter sections here where the base does begin, and all of the sculpt work on these have come out impeccably well. The plastic used here is a little more rigid than I expected, meaning that it will hold its shape if you do accidentally bump into it. As we turn our attention here down to Godzilla's tail, you can once again see how we've got all of that exceptional spinal detailing. Very, very awesome as far as the sculpt is concerned. Even flipping here to the underside, you can see some lovely texturing detail. And then as we take a look here towards the main torso of Godzilla, especially where that head sculpt is concerned, this too does look remarkable. Out of the two giant figures, both Godzilla and Kong, this figure here is by far my favourite. I just love the sculpt and paintwork you can see there for the eyes, the nose, the mouth, the teeth, the tongue. Everything has been picked out and painted so nicely, and it really does look fantastic in hand. As we turn our attention here to the arms of Godzilla, once again the texture detail looks fantastic. We've got the claws which too have been painted, and then turning our attention here finally down to the lower section of the legs, you can once again see how big and bulky these truly are, with the nails here also picked out in a very nice grey. As far as the articulation is concerned, it is a little more limited than compared to the 6-inch figures, although personally I have found these here to be more of display pieces than compared to the 6-inch figures, which were really intended to be action figures. So we do not get any form of head rotation nor jaw articulation, and I would have loved to have been able to actually open and close the mouth, but regardless, the sculpt still does look fantastic. We do get a rotation here at the arm which can hinge up and down, and the wrists can rotate the full 360. As we turn our attention here to the legs, these can kick forwards and backwards to quite a considerable degree, and then moving down here to the tail, this here is merely on a rotation, although due to how the tail has been sculpted, depending on how you rotate it, it does give you the impression as if Godzilla is about to whip Kong with this enormous tail. So overall, as far as the sculpt and paintwork is concerned, this here for a £20 figure is really impressive, and whilst the articulation may not be as good as the 6-inch figures, I still believe that you are getting a reasonable amount, especially in regards to Godzilla, as of course he's not the most dynamic and agile of characters. Taking a look here at Kong, much like Godzilla, the sculpt work truly is exquisite. He is a little shorter when in comparison to Godzilla, which I believe is to match the scale that we will see in the upcoming movie. You can see that as far as that head sculpt is concerned, it looks incredibly menacing and very fierce. We also do have some fantastic fur texturing detail. We can see some subtle details here, such as the ears of Kong, and all of the wrinkles, as well as the different surface textures that we have for the face, truly does make this a very authentic piece. The paintwork here for the eyes too have come out really nicely, especially as they are using 3 different tones of paint. So of course we get the white, the orange and the black. And then as we take a look here towards the teeth, this too is also a very impressive area, as there are next to no paint bleeds. Taking a look here towards Kong's torso, we of course have a more reflective colour scheme for the pectoral region, with a really nasty gash which has probably been given to Kong by Godzilla. You can also see that as we turn our attention here down to the lower section of the torso, much like the head, the fur texture and detail really does look fantastic. Here for the arms, you can see see all of the muscular anatomy. I believe it here has all come out impeccably well. Even as we turn around here to the back, despite the screw holes, I do believe that the overall sculpt work looks fantastic. And then of course, finally taking a look here down to the legs and the feet. This too has also come out really nicely. As far as articulation is concerned, much like Godzilla, he isn't the most articulated figure, although in my opinion, the sculpt really does make up for it. So we do get a full rotation here at the head, which can look left to right, full rotation here at the arms. As we take a look here at the wrists, we also do get a full rotation, and we also do get rotation here at the legs, and the foot can also pivot left to right. Something that I would have liked to have seen included here with Kong would have been the battle axe, especially as his hand does appear to be sculpted to wield one, and I would love to see how detailed and how awesome the battle axe would look with this new scale. But overall, Kong, much like Godzilla, is a very impressive looking display piece, and I must admit that I am thoroughly impressed with the detail that have gone into these £20 action figures. And so, some final thoughts. Overall, I am incredibly impressed with the detail that both Giant Godzilla and Giant Kong have had packed into them, especially once again considering their price point. These figures are roughly 10 inches as far as their scale is concerned, and you are getting not only some fantastic paint and sculpt work, but also a very good use of high grade quality plastic. The articulation, whilst may not be the best, I personally believe wasn't intended to be these figures' main focus, as we have the 6-inch line for that. I believe these here were designed to be very good display pieces and two very good collectibles for younger collectors. I really hope that you enjoyed this review. If you did, please do let me know down in the comment section below. Once again, if you are looking to purchase any of these figures, please be sure to check out the link down in the description box below. And before wrapping this review up, I once again want to say a massive thank you to Flair for making this review here possible. I thank you all for watching, and until my next review, I'll see you then. Thanks for watching.